Hello over there. What's up, YouTube? Breezy J here. Pretty cool mask. I created it myself. Listen, I am on a field trip, so I figured I might create a video of a school bus tour. Now, most of you, or maybe some of you, have never been on one of these newer buses. These are a 2020 school bus. This is a 2020 school bus. Sorry, 2019. It's a C2. It's a safety liner. Thomas built buses, school bus. Most of you older folks probably rode a freight liner. And what I mean by old is probably, 2000. I think they still make them, but they're an not so modern look. What I'm talking about are the C2. I'll show you like this right here with the big old window and a nice, kind of arched but almost flat roof. So what I decided to do is I'm going to give you a tour. And by the way, these windows are tinted. The other school buses, the older ones, weren't tinted at all. They might have UV protection, but they weren't tinted. Let's give you a little tour of the bus. So, you guys should remember the older buses. Here, there used to be a little crank lever that you would use for an emergency exit, which turned into this. So notice, that thing is locked. It is sealed. You push this button, it releases the door, making it manual. See that? Now it's open. Push it back. Watch what happens. A couple cool things that we got that weren't on the older buses. And if you use internationals, you might have a little cubby up here. Other than that, you only have like an emergency thing. This one opens up, and it's pretty wide too. It goes to the whole front of the bus. You got your little connector piece here that you can put in, and it holds it up. Got your fire extinguisher. This is a DVR box. Some trash bags stored up here. Probably shouldn't have them, but that's where I put them. And then you got your little med kit. Thankfully, I haven't had to use it yet. Then you shut that. Now you got... Think about these buses. Is normally when you're looking up, that's where your mirror would sit in the older buses. These buses have a mirror slanted at the side. So when you're sitting at a straight position like this, you just look up. And there's your visor. It's always where it's always been. Got your two fans. One there, one there. And all this. All the mechanics. A lot of people have been probably wondering what it is like on a school bus with a radio. The newer style radios, not like the old cassette tape ones. What we have is a CD player. It's very basic. You have AM, FM, and then you got... well, let me just show you.
One.
So you got that. You got different FM channels, AM, and then you can press this button here. It'll take you to the CD, aux in, which is pretty much aux in is pretty much like if you want to listen to music from your phone or whatever. Not that you'll legally be allowed. But let's just say you're sitting here on a field trip, you are allowed to use it. At least where I'm at, you can. Cool thing is you got your crossover mirrors over there. Typical as a normal school bus. But those ones are kind of like... They are arched at the bottom, but flat on top. These ones are completely circular. That they bulge out. Same with this. Same thing, different variant. You can actually... I might have to start it up in order to see it.
1.
It boots up like this. You gotta wait till that intake heater. You know, it'll tell you like diagnostics, your mileage, your hours that you've driven on the bus, your setup, mileage, hours, and it also tells you the temperature, which is really cool. It says it's 60 degrees, but I don't think it's 60 degrees outside. So I guess it's 60 degrees on the bus, which is fairly warm. Now let's start it up. Hey, you can see me. Okay, so something new about this is the DEF, and this pretty much it works with the transmission or engine or whatever, keeps it from overheating, I guess. I don't know. This is all new. I don't know, DEF I've never worked with before. You got your basic 2 air pumps, your miles per hour, your speedometer, RPM, your tachometer, your oil gauge, water gauge, transmission gauge. It's very interesting because there's actually 3 pedals down here. It's a little dirty because it's all dirty outside, but it gets swept once a week, a couple times a week. So we got 3 pedals down here, and you might be wondering what this little pedal way up here is for. And no, it's not like your typical, well, what do they call it, emergency brake like a car would have. This is actually so you can maneuver your steering wheel. See, if I push it down, you can push it up, and you can also push it in. You also got, which is really nice, a couple cup holders, and my 2-way radio, and obviously, the key. This right here is a regen button. You only use this when you need it. It'll light up when it has to regen. For those of you who aren't familiar with what regen is, it is something that it heats your exhaust up to probably like 1,000 degrees, and it burns the soot, and it liquefies it, and then it runs out of the back end of your exhaust. So that's what regen means, and it really stinks when it does do that. I mean, it smells like burning boiled noodles. And then you got your light test. Now, if you don't know what a light test is, this is, it pretty much, it's kind of like a lamp test for the older buses. It activates every single light on. Alright, every single light. So watch, I'll show you. Once it's done doing the beginning thing. So it does that, you can see in the mirror. Does the headlights also. And it also even does your stop sign. It does all the lights up there and every single light that is in the back. And how to cancel that is you just push on the brake. See? And my bad, there was a car coming. Luckily, obviously he knew that there wasn't nothing. So anyways, let's go back to... So you got your parking brake. You just push it in. You push in to apply, you push to release the brake. You pull to apply the brake. This right here is a microphone that controls with the PA system, pretty much. And then this is your battery thing. So that is everything that is on the console. And you also have this too. This right here, when you turn it on, this actually, it's kind of like a semi-truck. but it initiates kind of like a Jake brake sort of thing. And when you are slowing down, instead of using your brakes, it automatically brakes for you. I call it an automatic brake instead of a manual brake. Then you got your light gauge, which initiates the light and all that other stuff. This is your speed control. You can initiate that. This, if you push it down, it'll make your RPMs go up to about 10 or 11, 12 maybe. And then it'll actually help boost the regeneration thing too, if it's got a regen. For these buses, it automatically goes up to 1200 RPM. Sorry, 12,000 RPM. Whatever, you know what I mean. Because they go by 1,000. So this here is our gauge. Our gauges. You got your door, which opens the door like that. Your ambers. And then you can activate the door that would turn on the reds. So I would activate that. Let me make sure no cars are coming. Alright, we're good. Then you shut the door and it deactivates them. Here, I'll show you again. Then you shut the door and it deactivates them. This is an override switch. I'm going to show you what that does. Let's zoom in. Push that button and it automatically turns the reds on without you having to open up the door and turn that off. This right here, these are our two lights. The dome is for the back half. Woo! See that? Back half. Actually, I could zoom back out. There we go. It's the back half. And this one right here is for my driver dome. This is for the speaker. This sends the speaker outside. Because we have a speaker that goes outside, we can use it for a PA system outside as well. To talk to whoever needs to be talked to. This is a noise canceling. This is a mirror heat. All our mirrors come with heated mirrors. So when it rains, it doesn't get wet. And when it's foggy or whatever, it doesn't, fog up. This is for the fan, defrost fan. That's what these are called. So you got that one, which this is the button I push turns that one on. You can turn it on high too. This one is for the driver's side, the left side. Turn that one on, and then there's you can turn it on more. So it's kind of like a low and a high. See. This is a step heater. Turn that on. And on high. This is already on low. You can turn that on high. This is off. You can turn that one on low. One more high. This is our strobe light. If you're not familiar with the strobe light, I'll show you that in just a second. We also got heaters for the front too. This turns it on. This is a whole front part. The strobe light. Turn that on. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. So I don't know why this is shut, because it should be open. If you can see that strobe, the sun is kind of... You can kind of see it. The sun kind of eliminates it. So now we'll walk back up to the front. And like I said, I'm on a field trip. We have a little file section here. I'm not going to show you any of them. And then we have a little cubby here. I don't know what's in it. I've never been inside, but I probably should. This was somebody else's bus before I took over it a while ago. And then up here we have another compartment. Open that up, and I keep my extra fan if it gets too hot. I have another fan in here, and it plugs in to this piece right there. That's also a charging port, AV. And then so yeah, connect that to your steering wheel or whatever. It'll keep you nice and cool. Got some wipes, a little bit of that, and a little bit of this. Back here we got our normal pouch. I usually keep a couple spare masks because the elementary kids tend to forget theirs, even though they've been doing it for like 2 school years now. Typical seatbelt. This is our comfiest seat ever I've ever been in. It's air powered. This blows up the back part, and then you can release it. This part does the whole seat, but I ain't gonna mess with it. This button right here is called a seat warmer. You turn it on, it'll turn on low. You turn it on high, and it'll burn your ass. I swear. We have a little seatbelt connector too. Down here we got our safety emergency kit. I'll open that up for you. Few flares, some triangles, and looks like there might be something else in there. I'm not really worried about that right now. Got our typical seats. Now I'm gonna show you what this does, because a lot of people may have never seen this before, even though they rode a bus. I mean, they've seen this, but they don't know how it operates. So what you do is you turn the handle like this, and you lift up, and then you pull it back down. So you do that, and it completely lifts up. And that's how you handle that. You can also just push up on it on each side. You can do that too. It's completely adjustable. You know, I usually do this side so that just in case if I ever hit a tree branch, it's not gonna rip it off. It'll just slide right over. Now for these, there's all kinds of emergency windows. And this particular one uses a lift handle. And so this is pretty much like a normal window. You can open it and everything. But all you do is you just lift this handle up all the way up till it snaps into place, and you can push it out. Just like that. So now when you back up, you got a big old open window. So we'll just shut that and do that. 4 emergency windows and 2 hatches. We got 1 emergency door back here. And sorry if it gets loud, the heat is on. And all you do with this, you lift it up and you push out. This thing locks. So it locks. And then you gotta push it back to unlock it. Push the handle down, you're good to go. Now, I see a lot of people asking different questions on other, bus driving pages of what happens if you turn all the buttons on at once, all the same time. Nothing really, it just makes everything on. But let's look at this first. That's our security camera. I don't know. I would hope so. So, yeah. So this right is our walkie thing. And we can use it to talk. This right here, we could change the channel. This is the channel that our school is set on. But we could change it to 2.
2.
Which is for another bus garage. I won't say for confidential reasons. And we have one more number. It's number 3. And that tells us the weather and stuff.
3. Saturday night. Mostly clear in the evening, then becoming partly cloudy. 1.
So now you know your weather for Saturday night. Alright, so yeah, let's turn on all the switches so I can get that out of the way. So, do, zoom out, do. Turn that, obviously the noise activation does that. Turn all that off. Woo! And that's what that does. We have a little knob right here. Those are our windshield wipers. Like that. Turn it on all the way high. It also does our high beam and low beam. It does our windshield spurt. Like that. You can see the windshield coming out. And it also does our high beam. Well, I already said high beams. And it also does our turn signal. So that is your tour of a 2019 C2. If you have any other questions, please comment them and I will answer them possibly another video. That is your full tour of the bus. I will make some disclaimers though. I will not be taking any videos of me driving or anything. You can look up a video on that side. This isn't no pre-trip, so don't use this as a pre-trip tool because it's not. It's just for school bus tour. So like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll be happy to answer them. If it's something that I'd like to explain about, I'll make another video of it. And by the way, whoever said braces suck, they really don't. They're actually more comfortable than the spacers. That's a fact. More thing I forgot to talk about. This right here, the incline and decrease, or sorry, increase and decrease, is pretty much just your speed. When you're using cruise control, you can push that if you want to increase your speed. You can push it down if you want to decrease your speed. I don't use it, but you know, that's that. I'm out of breath now. But anyways, I hope you all found this very interesting. Like I said, it's just a basic school bus. There's actually a thing that I just noticed that I didn't talk about. And we're going to take a walk back and I'll show you. There's another security camera. Green thing right here. What? This green thing right here is what we use to notify everybody that the bus is empty. And yeah, it's magnetized. It's a magnetized strip, so you can put it right here if you wanted to. And that is that. So, like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Because it's good to know. It's fun to know exciting things. You know, if you've never been on one of these school buses, They usually at shows, maybe even at the fairs, they even promote the new school buses for school officials or whatever the case may be. I will tell you, driving a C2 is really nice. It's very smooth. Freightliners are very stinky like the older buses. So, if you are a bus driver, try and convince them to get you a C2. You'll like it. And it's very fast, too. I'm not a speed demon, but when I'm ready to go home, I don't want to be pushing down on that gas pedal, only going 5 miles every 2 minutes. 5 miles more every 2 minutes. I just want to get up to speed and go. I've been driving for a long time. This is my 6th school year. And guess what? I'm only 28 years old. And I'll be 29 in September. So 6 school years? You only need to put in, 20 or 30 years in, and then you get to retire. So, I think I'm doing pretty good. A lot of people older than me, they started when they were like 18, but that was before you had to get a CDL, or that was before, you had to be a certain age. So I'm very happy with the choice that I chose of becoming a bus driver. I've worked with special needs kids. I've worked with every kind of kid you can think of. Severely behaviored kids, wheelchaired kids. And to be honest with you, those of you who are bus drivers, I just want to tell you thanks. And for those who send their kids to school riding the bus, I just want to tell you, for the parents that send their kids to the bus to ride to school, I want to tell you thanks, because if it wasn't for your precious children, bus drivers wouldn't be here. And so thank a bus driver. Thank a bus driver, because if it wasn't for them, you wouldn't be able to work early that you do, and you wouldn't be able to work late that you do, because you'd have to go and pick up your kid. Especially those that don't have anybody to rely on. And we do it because we love our job. We love our career. I call it my career because it's the best freaking career I've ever done in my life. I love the kids. I treat them like my own kids. I'm a father of 2. So, seeing them wake, bright and early in the morning, big smile on their faces, ready, willing, and eager to learn, watching them blossom throughout the school year, and then seeing them come back the next school year twice the height, seeing kids going from elementary school to high school, it's just something that, wow, time really flies by. Watching them grow is just amazing. And when you are with them all the time, you don't realize that until you blink and you realize, my kid's about to graduate next year. Oh no, what am I going to do? I didn't realize that. How do you think we feel? We have 3 months off, and then they come back. You look at them, you've had them before, many years, and you're like, what is your name? Because they've changed so much. But you know what? It's a good thing. They blossom. They learn new things. They're turning into teenagers. They're adulting, learning how to become an adult. Most of them. There's some that choose to still be a kid, but that's beside the point. Point is, thank a bus driver, thank the adult, thank the parent, because if it wasn't for them, bus drivers wouldn't have job. If it wasn't for us, parents wouldn't have no way to get them to school because of their work, or they wouldn't have a job because they have to take their kid to school. So just thank a bus driver, thank a parent, and just appreciate the little things in life. I'm Breezy J. I'm sorry it's so long, but I just wanted to let you guys know that. Thank you.